Happy New Year. Bristle Boys back in the studio. Been a month or so. Busy holiday season. NFL wrapped up. Playoffs started. We're at Lottie's. Did you know the playoffs started, Lottie?
Yeah, they start today.
Yeah, no.
Today at 4:30.
I believe they started yesterday. There was a football game yesterday that I was watching.
It was over pretty quick, huh?
Lottie's in the studio. Angry Jay, tired. ECSU with a dub yesterday. The Dahnfather picking up a big win for St. Joseph's School. What are you, the Panthers?
We are the Panthers.
You guys are loaded this year, I heard.
Dahnfather got teed up in a
Did you really?
Did you?
grade game.
What a loser, dude.
That's
What happened?
embarrassing.
Explain, though. We need.
I was talking to the other coach, and I got teed up for talking to the other coach and telling him to stand up because he's 5'1". I couldn't hear him. I said, "Are you standing or
Here we
sitting?"
go.
Now, Ref gave me a tee for that.
That's going
Is
a
that a
little
sin or
far.
not?
Yeah.
Very
Catholic
confrontational.
school, grammar school. The coach gets teed up.
Oh my God! Did you have to go see the priest on Monday or whatever?
That's tomorrow. I'm not sure yet.
Higgy, would you hire a guy like that at your school?
I love the passion.
All right. Good
The
answer.
commish is back, sporting the Husky blue and red today. Huskies taking on Georgetown and the boys. But happy to be back here on January 14th. Capital Securities.
Oh God!
Joe Moriello. Did you guys prepare for this podcast?
Sure did.
Did anybody put time into it?
Amen.
Joe's
really,
motto
but-
is a life well planned, and he can help you plan that out. He's actually in the studio here today. Joe Moriello.
We better be on
Come
our
on
A
over
game.
All right, coming up.
We gotta be on our A game today.
Why should somebody call you? Not what should somebody call you.
Right.
Why should somebody give you a call?
Yeah. You reach out to us when you have some questions about your finances, when you want to make sure that you did all the right things to plan for your retirement, plan for your kids' college education, you want some estate planning done the right way, give us a call at Capital Securities. We'll sit down with you, come up with a really workable plan, do some goal setting, and we'll come up with a real workable plan for you.
Great job.
You heard it. A life well planned. Capital Securities blowing other sponsors out of the water. The Skygazer checks have stopped coming in. But
Dry January.
But we do want to say good luck to another partial sponsor known as the Champ, our most recent interview subject. The Champ is in Florida, ready to roll. And if he wins this tournament out of 60 participants, he comes home with another $1 million.
Just another set of cameras for us, I think.
You know what it is. The Champ will take care of us. Good luck, Champ. Dahnfather, do you like the Champ's chances?
60 people. I mean, he won out of 187,000 last time, so I like his chances with 60. He's got my input, so he's probably not going to win if he uses any of the advice I gave him this morning. But
You didn't have him take any Browns, did you?
it's only today. It's interesting. 3 games. It's all he's picking. The original 3 games for today's slate are the only games that they're allowed to pick from.
So Bills Steelers still included on that slate.
It is because people could start their picks starting on last Wednesday, I believe. So they already submitted them. So, yeah, they can start those.
Hey, if it started yesterday and he took the Texans defense, he would have already clinched it. He'd already have the $1 million. He'd be flying home.
With a mill.
I thought it odd they didn't include yesterday's games. That didn't make sense, but I don't
No,
know.
they weren't really that good at games.
They were helpful games.
Or if you're a Texans fan.
How about the Bills Steelers not playing because is it cold? Because it's cold or snowy?
No,
all
the
The
above.
governor, it was a travel ban in Buffalo.
Well, they were paying people $20 an hour to shovel the field yesterday.
Did you see the stadium?
Yeah.
You couldn't see it. You couldn't see it when you were in there. You couldn't see the turf.
That would have been awesome to
I
watch.
couldn't imagine it'd be colder than Southington High's playoff game
No, I
at
don't think so.
Manchester. That was my debut with hand warmers that night.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell Tice that.
Also known as gloves.
No,
Oh,
the-
real
the-
hand
those
warmers.
little.
He bought the hand warmers in the concession stand.
I bought a hot chocolate, poured it down my pants, and hand warmers.
It was cold.
All right, we got to start with the Yanks, man. I mean, the Yanks made some news. We got Soto in the house, number 22 in the house. Who was the last guy to wear 22 for the Yanks?
Cano?
I think it was Bader, right?
It was Bader. Yep.
How about a Red Sox bust that wore 22?
Clemens?
Well, he did wear 22. This guy was a bust. Spent a lot of time in Florida.
Ellsbury?
Yep. Okay. A lot of talk about Snell. I don't think it's going to happen after Stroman. You guys, what are your thoughts on Stroman, Snell, and the whole pitching thing? Cease, would you give guys up for Cease? Would you ship Spencer Jones off? I mean, we're shipping a lot of guys off.
I wouldn't ship any of those guys off right now. They'll make a move at the deadline if they need to. I thought We talked about it before. I thought they addressed the offense, which we said a year ago they needed some bats. They got Soto and Verdugo. You could say what you want about Verdugo.
Don't
Puts the
sleep
ball-
on Grisham either.
Puts the ball in play. Grisham puts the ball in play. Outfield defense is a little suspect. I'm not worried about the pitching right now. Let's see some of these young arms come up that they've been talking about. And if Schmidt's your fifth starter, the key is Rodon and Cortez.
How long do they have Soto for?
1 year.
Year.
You concerned about the prospects they gave up for a rental?
No.
A
No.
possible rental.
We're gonna
I
sign
don't
him.
know.
We're gonna sign him.
If you sign him, it's a great trade.
No, you get a guy like that. You get an opportunity.
They
You get a
need to
guy
make a
like that.
splash.
You go for it.
Because
You gotta.
we're getting at least closer to the back end of Stanton. I mean, we got to put all of our resources into keeping Soto there. We have a star.
Yeah, because Stanton's in his prime. I mean, we got to win while Stanton's
He's got 4
at
years.
his best.
He's still got 4 years.
Yeah, so after next year, it'll be 3. And I'm saying we're at the back end
You
of
see
it.
how skinny he's got?
We're not at the back end of it. Angry Jay?
A lot of yoga this offseason.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Angry Jay, we're not at the back end of it. You're shaking your head.
Keep those hamstrings
Well, it's
nice
10
and limber.
years, so I guess it just started the back end. He hasn't
We
played
don't
in
have to
4
guess.
years.
I mean, are we at the back end of it?
No.
Well,
No,
what's
it's
the
right in
back
the
end?
middle. The last 2
The
years.
middle is the 4 and 5 and 6.
Yeah, this is like 6.
Then after next year, when Soto,
Well,
when we got
that's
to put
great.
the money into Soto,
So we got to watch this guy bat behind Soto and Judge and driving 70 runs.
we're going to save him for the playoffs because you know what he does in the playoffs.
He strikes out a lot.
He'll be hurt.
Jogs
He'll
the
be
first.
hurt. I'm not worried about Stan because he'll be hurt. And
I'm all for Blake Snell, by the way. If they could somehow get him to like 4 or 5 years instead of $200 million, because we need some pitchers. And Stroman does nothing for me. He's just
Not me either.
he's
What-
meh. They give me, like come
he's
on.
he's a
a
fourth
lunatic.
guy.
What are your thoughts on
Absolutely.
Bauer? I'm saying that online. What do you think
I'm
about that?
all-
Would you take
know
him?
something? I'm all for it.
He's not a lunatic.
He's he's a good pitcher.
He's a freak.
He's a freak in the bed. I mean, good for him. Like he's
He's got some bite to him.
That's right. he's got a hell of a curveball and fastball.
Stroman was only a 2-year deal. Whatever.
Him and
I
Stroman
don't care.
in the clubhouse, though.
And
Boy, that could get a
Verdugo.
little-
Listen,
Verdugo, that could get a little rough.
Bronx,
Jesus.
Bronx Zoo is
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
We need it.
That's all right. We need
The-
a little
we need
juice.
this.
We need some tabloid stuff.
The-
Jimmy
Yeah,
G
I-
jumping again.
The Yankees
We need
will
to
never
get back
do that,
in the
though.
back
They'll
page,
never
right?
do
Don Lemon's going to come back and coach this year.
Can we let these guys grow their hair?
You need Bob?
Bob Lemon.
I mean,
Don
what did
Lemon.
I say? Don's got other stuff going
Don's
on.
on CNN. They're fired from CNN. Drunk on New Year's Eve.
They all do now. All those guys get drunk
Yeah.
on New Year's Eve now.
How about the hair thing? They could have whatever tattoos they want, but
Yeah.
the hair thing, you got to be,
Yeah.
you got to be tight.
No facial hair, but you could have neck
You got to
tattoos.
look like
I
the
hate that
Dahnfather.
policy. I hate
You got to
that
put
policy.
pomade in like the Dahnfather.
I'm not a fan of that policy, as you know.
What,
Hey,
the pomade? Or
Let them do what they want.
Hey, what about areas for Torres? You see that?
Yeah, I'm in
I
favor of that.
love that.
I'll bet him before Judge and
The lefty for in
Soto.
Miami?
Yep, lead off with all those guys behind him. Definitely. I'm not a Glaber Torres guy.
We'll
so-
miss Glaber's energy, though.
Yeah, right. Speaking of energy,
His sprint time, yeah.
speaking of energy, we have a first timer in the studio today, and this guest, this participant, this audience member, is known as El Principal, and let's just leave it at that. Welcome, El Principal. Yeah.
Top of the morning to you boys.
Gotta make a big call on Monday. A storm coming in, right? Monday into Tuesday.
Just call it.
Call
now.
it,
Call it now,
buddy.
please.
Yeah,
Call
we
it,
need to
buddy.
call it.
Call
Keep our ears to the grindstone.
Yep.
Big rainstorm coming, better cancel again.
Only in Bristol.
Have we talked about Wander Franco yet on air or no?
Man, what a scumbag.
Wow.
That means he's available.
The only person that's a bigger scumbag than him is probably the mother.
Oh my word! yeah.
Holy, that's great parenting there, huh?
Yep.
Here's a couple $100,000. You can have my kid.
Is there a female version of the word scumbag, or is it the same and
Oh.
is it gender neutral?
I don't know. He, she,
I think
they,
it's gender
whatever.
neutral.
Whatever.
Yeah, which
His
is-
career's over though. No.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's done.
No, come on, Yankees will grab him in a couple of years. Throw him in the farm system, change his name, be fine.
Like David Ortiz will change her name.
They take him in Japan, honestly.
Of course they would.
It's gonna be hard to get him out of the slammer. No.
They'll bust him out. They'll bust him out. Hey, is Manny still under contract over there?
No.
No
No.
idea.
All right, so no
Still-
interview
still
today. We
saucing.
got a bunch of stuff. We're gonna jump around a bunch, but it's been a while since we've been here. Draymond update. Apparently he's coming back. He's getting all this help.
Well, not, are we pivoting off baseball? Are we done
Yeah.
with MLB? You didn't talk about the biggest signing in the history of baseball. We haven't been here since.
Been that long?
Yeah.
There's only one team that signs all those guys. Right?
$700 million, right? We haven't talked about that. That's why baseball sucks. Stinks.
Why?
Because the Dodgers spent $1 billion on two
Well,
players.
they apparently have $1 billion to spend.
They don't spend the money if they don't have it.
I'm not blaming the Dodgers. I would do the same thing.
What's your
But
problem with baseball? then?
salary cap, man. Come on.
I don't have any problem with the spending. I got a problem with the teams that don't spend. Should be a salary floor. Because all
Agreed.
these other teams are pocketing all this TV revenue and the
Shared
profit
money.
sharing, and like the Oakland A's before they moved. What were they spending? $26 million on a payroll? That's embarrassing.
No, they're like
Sell the
60.
team or spend the money. I don't have any problem with people spending the money. When you're charging $18 for a beer, they got the money. $60 the park, you got the money.
Oh, again, I'm fine with them spending the money, but baseball's got to limit how much you could spend. It's not everybody can spend $1 billion. It's supposed to be an equal playing field. It's not.
They got the Magic Man involved out there. Of course they're going to spend the money. They got it.
And they get HIV.
They got the
Yeah,
Magic
yeah,
Man.
sure.
He don't have that. The healthiest guy on the planet.
I'm not sure I'm going that far. Oh, but
Well, he's
He's
the
been
best
around,
thing
been
since about
around for 30
years ago.
plus years. I mean,
It's pretty tough.
that's quite
Yeah, they
a,
were burying him 30 years ago. And
quite a medicine
I
cabinet.
made a comeback.
He's
that's the guy on the planet.
3,000 pills a day.
I don't care about Shohei. I don't care about the Dodgers. That stuff doesn't ever seem to work. They've
They're
tried
still
this a
going
long
to choke.
time ago, too.
They're still going to choke in
It'll
October.
be so enjoyable if they don't win it all.
Yeah, and is he going to pitch? Like, what's this plan?
You can't pitch this
No,
year.
he's not pitching. But
At all?
they got Yamamoto for that now.
$70 million DH.
He's going to pitch in a couple of years.
Arm's going to fall off.
He can hit. He can hit, man.
He is fun to watch.
Imagine him at the stadium. Boy.
It's amazing that
80
he-
homers?
It's amazing that he's had. He's getting the Tommy John surgery, and our guy has a strained calf and can't play for 3 months. But don't worry about it; he'll be around.
You
for the
got to
playoffs.
narrow it down. Which Yankee are you talking about?
Talking about the biggest fraud in franchise history. Jesus.
Bobby Max guy?
Talking about Chris Sale for the Red Sox?
Crazy
No.
when the guy's
Hey,
healthy.
you
he
know
mashes.
the Martian's
How about-
coming back earlier than expected. He'll be ready for spring training.
Yeah,
That was the greatest news I heard.
I know, but where's he going to play?
Do you
at this
actually
point?
believe that?
I do.
You think he's going to play?
I think he's going to probably get a minor league stint for a month, and then he's coming up.
When does he play for the Yankees? Give me.
May.
Oh, when you want to bet on that?
Yes, on air.
What do
Let's
you
go.
got? Let's go. What do you got? What's the bet?
No, you and him. You tell. You guys
Okay.
figure it out.
When do you think he's
So all
coming back?
can hear it.
All-Star break. June at the late
But
June
that's
earliest.
1 month after what I just said.
It's 30 games, dude. That's
He's coming back in May. He'll be playing by I'll go Memorial Day.
all right.
If you're going June, I'm going late May.
All right.
What's the bet? You mow his lawn or he mows your lawn?
Yeah.
Is that the
That's
bet?
it.
Let's
That's
do that.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
bet.
What's the date? May 1st?
Memorial. Day.
Memorial Day. Okay.
Under over
Or
Memorial
trade
Day.
your,
Right
each
on-
other's
put
big
it on the
accounts.
board, Dahnfather.
He could get your father, and you could get Dennis Leary.
There you go. He'll be back by then.
No shot.
He'll be back.
All right, forget about baseball.
Minor league at
Too
bats.
cold. Baseball's miserable in the cold. What's up with Draymond coming back, man? You buying? I mean, there's all this drama. ESPN with all this fake news. Durant said this. That's a story. Draymond is going to get help now. He's getting counseling, and he's mad at this guy for saying this and mad at this guy for saying that. Like, is he ever going to change when he comes back? Is he not going to kick people
then he
in the
said
balls?
he was considering retirement.
Oh,
Because,
did you see what I wrote about that?
yeah.
I mean, why are we talking him out off the ledge there? Retire. Go
Keep
away.
considering it, exactly.
Go away.
Lord.
You said,
want the
you said
Warriors
Silver told him not to retire, right?
Yeah,
Good
that's what I
for,
mean.
he's
I
good
said
for
Adam.
ratings, right? He's good for ratings.
That's why I said, Adam, chill out. Let it happen.
That's a non-story for me. I can care less about that guy.
Trade Donovan Mitchell to the Warriors. They want Wiggins in Cleveland. They give him a couple picks in Wiggins. Trade for Randall, and the Warriors are back. I got to tell you something. I can't get enough of Steph Curry. And, like, did you see Shaq said, when are we going to start mentioning this guy as the GOAT? At least get him in the conversation.
In the conversation, yeah.
Because only two people are in it all the time, and it's ridiculous that the Jabars aren't in it. But, like, when are we seriously going to consider him? He's small. He can't be stopped.
Bobby Mack, we talked, you and I, about 2-3 years ago. I thought he was top 10, 15 at that point.
Yeah, and he hasn't.
It hasn't-
and he's
my
gotten
mind
better.
hasn't changed at all. He's one of the best players of all time.
He's carrying
Yeah.
Clay up and down the court.
Clay dropped, 30-something there? And I agree with
Finally.
you for the most part, but yeah, I mean, Draymond won't be with the Warriors next year. Inside sources at the NBA, we have high inside
Oh,
sources.
yeah.
They said he won't be with the Warriors next year because they need ratings. East Coast. He'll be an East Coast team next year, I heard.
But he's not even a good
He's
player.
a ratings getter, though. That's
I
people watch
wouldn't want
when he
him on my
plays.
team.
That's another Dahnfather
No,
bomb
no,
right
no,
I
there.
don't want him
Thank
on
you.
my team.
Curry's going to be that guy that the kids nowadays, when they're older, are talking about. I saw him
Listen,
play.
it's-
He
yeah.
can't shoot like Curry shot. He's
Exactly.
not as good as Curry was. That type of.
He's one of the most influential players in basketball history. Him and MJ and
Hartenstein.
Kobe and Iverson, like
And
those,
not-
those guards. Yeah,
Not nothing against him, but not always in a good way because he's
yeah, he
such,
changed
he's
the
such
game.
a good
Yeah.
shooter. I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yes.
Yeah, now kids think they can do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they think they can
25
shoot from the
footers, yeah.
logo. Yeah.
yeah.
it's true.
It's not from the 20-foot line. It's from the 25 to 28-foot line.
And very
He's
few
fun to
high school
watch.
shooters can make them from that deep.
Hint. What are you talking about? Bobby? Who are you talking about?
I'm kidding,
Yeah,
man. I'm kidding, man.
subtle there, huh?
So Knicks, this Randall hubbub, and then the big move they made. And by the way, OG's pretty good.
He's what they needed. He's a defense first guy. With Barrett and Quickly, they were more ball dominant guys, and they already had two ball dominant guys, so they had to unclutter that position. As much as I do like Barrett and Quickly, and they're doing very well in Toronto.
Yes, they are.
They've been kind of given the keys a little bit with Barnes, but the Knicks are more like a Tibbs team now, like the Bulls, right? More defensive minded. Two guys have the ball in their hands like D Rose did back in the day, and everybody else kind of fills their role. DDV is playing better. Grimes is finally getting an opportunity. Deuce McBride. I don't believe the Randall stuff. You guys know I'm his biggest critic. I mean, guy gets 25 and 10 a game, so I don't think he's going anywhere at the trade deadline. Maybe in the offseason they might make a push if things don't work out. I still think they're a second-round ouster. That's just my opinion.
No, they didn't trade for
No,
Anunoby
I mean,
to get rid of Randall.
No.
I like Anunoby a lot. He's
Yeah.
he's a great third or fourth
Yep.
guy. They gave
Yep.
up a lot though.
Yeah.
So I like Quickly too.
Yep.
Never been a Barrett fan. Volume shooter, volume scorer.
He's been more
Doesn't really
efficient, though,
guard.
lately, right, Barrett? This year, he was shooting well.
No, he
I like
he
Barrett.
started out very well, and then if you guys remember, he had those migraines. He missed like 2 weeks. He was never the same, and now he's gone to Toronto. He's had some games where he's 10 for 13, 8 for 12 shooting. Like the ball's more in his hands.
Well, it's the Molson Triple X. I mean, that's like moonshine up there,
Yeah.
What about any other trade rumors? There's a few out there.
Oh, hold on,
Celtics, anything?
hold on. Before we talk about that trade stuff, while we're on the Raptors, the Lakers-Raptors thing the other night. Did you see the discrepancy in free throws,
God.
and then the calls versus the non-calls,
Yeah.
and like that's not a conspiracy
Coach
theory,
was
man.
awesome.
That
Coach
is
was
coach.
awesome.
The coach was that is crap.
Yeah.
We need more of that, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. What they have
23
20 something in the
23
fourth
to 2.
quarter.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter.
Boy,
The
they'll
offensive
do anything
foul.
to have LeBron be relevant, man.
The offensive foul that they called. when
Oh,
the guy
on
made the
Barrett.
three.
That was Barrett on a moving screen
Yeah,
after he made the
and-
pass.
and-
that
Like,
was
come on,
sickening.
man.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you guys something. What happened to remember a couple years ago they put in the big flopping rule? If
Yeah.
a guy flops a couple times he gets suspended and it's fine. Did they just throw that thing out?
Yeah, that was just.
Because of that. And what like
That's not a flop.
that's from he like dove into the
Yeah,
third
they
row.
missed it then. Investigate
Yeah.
it now, and
That they're just not doing it anymore. Like it's a serious question, man. Like they don't find guys anymore.
Not that you hear of, anyway.
They did it for like two guys when they first started, like to try to like prove a point. Now it's just not around. Guys are still doing it.
A little trailer here. I actually wanted to ask you guys off the air, but I'll just ask you now. I think maybe you know Mike Donaghy, the
Yeah.
kid played at Chicago. Works for the NBA now after retiring from the Secret Service. And I asked him to come on. And he said there's a big public relations thing with the NBA, making sure that certain things don't get out there. But I mean, I would have him on just because of the Secret Service angle, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But and I think his father was a Big East ref, Donaghy.
Well,
Well, it was the.
Not
Tim
that guy. Do you remember back at the
I do,
old Big East?
I do
guy, right?
remember in the 80s there was a Donaghy in the Big East, yes.
And
Chuck-
Mike also
Commish, you must remember that name.
I do remember, yeah.
Mike also played football at Brown, and his roommate was none other than Bill O'Brien. So he's been to Bama, he's been to the Texans, and he's got a lot of stories to tell. I would love to hear because they investigate. Believe it or not, he works security for the NBA, but they investigate every situation and they're involved in it. Like when the Rondo, Chris Paul spitting thing, he was investigating that. When
John Morant.
When the guy, oh Jesus, when the guy, the big oaf for the Oklahoma City, he didn't go to Europe that year because they were afraid that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was.
They had to, Mike had to go over and they were
Not
casing
big
out
country.
England or whatever. to see it.
Cantor?
Cantor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to whack him over there or something.
Yeah, he's on the most wanted list over there, like number 1.
Jeez. Would you guys mind if we got Mike down here one night?
I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
be
I
fun,
want to
yeah.
be able to talk, but that sounds pretty cool.
Even if he wants to do it like off the air, I'd love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so they investigate that. It's got to be a flop. That's got mark number 1 on whoever it was, right? That's a flop.
Yeah, but it's the Lakers, so they need to.
Yeah,
win.
you guys are right about the Lakers, and they're playing 500 ball. It's like get out of here with
19
them.
and 21
Get out of here.
NBA trade rumors. The Dahnfather bombs.
I mean,
Go.
Siakam to the Mavs. That's what I heard. Now, if that's a perfect fit, because Mavs need defense, because their 2 best players cannot stop anything.
They don't participate on that end.
Siakam is great on both ends of the floor.
He's a really good player.
Who cares what they give up? They're going to give up Tim Hardaway Jr. and a bunch of role players. But and Siakam was going to go to Sacramento.
He's a free agent at the end of the year, so you wouldn't have to give up.
And he
too
said
much.
he already said, I'm not going to Sacramento because that's not where I want to end my career. But Dallas he's more willing to go to because he said that's a place he can see him ending his career. So I think, that's interesting because Dallas is playing good basketball with zero defense.
He's a good player, though. Very
Get
good
him
player.
there. And then the other one was everybody heard the DeJounte Murray to the Lakers.
Yeah.
For Austin Reeves. But the Lakers say they don't want to trade Reeves. They'll trade Reeves if they can get
come on.
DeJounte Murray.
Nah, that's stupid. He's not.
I agree for the money they're going to be made.
What
Reeves,
what does he do for the Lakers though? Like he has to have the ball.
He's a great
and
defensive player.
Yeah, they need that, but he needs the ball on offense. And one guy gets the ball on offense, he runs the offense.
That's why he was rumored to the Knicks, and they shot that down pretty quick. The Knicks were looking at Brogdon.
How bad is that trade, by the way?
Which,
Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
They gave up 4 first-round
Yep.
picks for that guy.
Yep.
oh, yeah.
He looks the part, though, doesn't he? If you
Yeah.
were going to build a player, he might end up looking like Murray with the shoulders and the.
Yeah.
He can.
Got to play better than that, though.
Yeah, I get it. And they're talking about Reddish in that deal, too, right?
Yeah,
That's too much.
he's not on the right
Cam,
home.
yeah, he can't find a home.
Dahnfather, we don't got any Celtic rumors.
You guys don't
We
need
don't
any-
need anybody.
You're loaded.
18-0. And what, are we 19-0 now or 18-0?
19 last night.
We're only 40 games behind the Warriors from 2014
Hear
to
all this
2016.
commish.
Winning streak.
Bottom line is.
Yeah,
Bottom line
I'm
is.
sorry. that was bad. I apologize.
Scorzingis got to stay healthy. Bottom line, right?
Yep.
You see, Jalen got dropped the other night, though. Was it LeBron?
No.
Tell me it wasn't LeBron.
No.
Who'd they play the other night?
Jalen Brown.
Giannis. It was Giannis.
I didn't see that they got smashed in the first half.
Yeah.
And they didn't even play. Jalen Brown's been playing fantastic.
They
by the way.
punted on that game pretty quick.
Yeah,
Huh? Oh, my
they didn't.
Lord.
They didn't play him in the second half.
Did you guys see the video in the preseason in the practice facility of him trying to dribble the ball with his left hand, just
Oh,
standing
yes. It was so embarrassing.
there? I want Angry Jay's take on this. He's already shaking his head. Look how angry this guy is. We got a principal
It
in the
is
house
such
here.
crap,
Jeez.
dude. Like this guy catches
Little
so
language.
much crap for no. Like he's a fantastic player. Like and any time he loses the ball now, somebody's like, "Oh, he can't dribble with his left hand." What did he have last night? 31, in like 28 minutes. Nobody mentions it. There's no mention of it. Oh, couldn't dribble
Hold
with his
on.
left hand
Hold on
last
one
night.
second.
Both ends of the floor.
I just want to say that
Guards
he had
both
31
ends.
points last night in 28 minutes. I mean, he's a hell of a player. I'm asking you, as a basketball coach, would you want him to improve on his left hand?
Yeah,
or-
you don't think he is?
I don't know.
So it's Twitter. Like he makes a mistake and they put it out there, and that's all you say. Like he does it every possession.
I have a question for you.
So
Guys,
you're saying-
he's
so you're
an underrated
saying-
player, but since he's making so much money now,
Crocker
people think
in
like
the
he
house.
can't make a mistake.
Angry Jay, I got a question for you. And this is not a knock on Jalen Brown. I love him. If he was playing on another team, would he be considered top 10, 15 in the league? Or is his tandem with Tatum take a little bit away from what his numbers could be and how he's viewed? You know what I'm saying?
I'll actually totally agree with you. Yeah, is he a top 10, 15? No. He's 25, top 25? Yeah.
But would he be top 10, 15 if he had his own team, quote
No,
unquote?
probably not.
No, he's not that kind of guy.
No, he's definitely, behind Tatum. I don't know
If
how you
he's in
think that
Atlanta,
far. He's scoring a lot of points, and,
They're
people
losing a
say
lot
he's
of
a
games.
nice player.
They're
Yeah.
losing a lot of games.
Well, you know why they win? They're winning this year. Tatum and Brown, two younger guys, are actually making sacrifices. They're
For each
taking
other,
less
yeah.
shots.
Yep.
They have a better team, but they're taking less shots. They're scoring less if you look at their averages. And people will say, as soon as Brown, because he signed that contract, as soon as he has a bad game, they're like, oh, he's not worth that. Like the last 2 weeks, he's been phenomenal. He's been their best player.
I think they realize they can't win in the playoffs without that third option, so they're
Yeah.
starting to defer to Porzingis, who is a legit third option in the
But
NBA.
those guys are like, with White and Holiday, two guys that don't care if they score. Like one game's if you notice they score 20, and then the next game they might score 3. But they're actually, it's a team. It's kind of fun to watch.
Winning basketball
Yeah.
plays.
They probably won't.
It's refreshing.
Nobody will win an MVP, but they win more games.
Who's the most surprising team in the NBA right now? Good or bad?
Well, I mean, the Lakers are a surprise. if you ask
OKC.
me.
Did
Yeah,
you
that's a
think
good call,
OKC
yeah.
was going to be this
OKC.
girl this
No, I got
quick?
one. I got you, Minnesota, man. I thought they
Minnesota.
were good. Holy cow, they're good. They're really good.
I think it's the Spurs. I mean, they got the GOAT, and they're the worst
The
team,
goat,
the
you
worst
said he
team in the
was-
Western
you
Conference.
said he was going to be awful.
The team has got 7 wins.
I'm talking about your boy Wemby.
It doesn't matter. He could shoot 80 times a game. His team sucks. Who cares?
What do you mean? You said he was going to be a bust.
He is a bust.
Oh.
Giannis is like amazed with him.
LeBron won 35 games his rookie year. He's not going to win 35 games in his first 3 years.
Oh my God!
He's a joke.
Another bet?
You guys know how many games Larry Bird won his rookie year?
More than 7.
60.
Yeah, they went. Did they play
29 to 60. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, the GOAT won 35 his rookie year.
You just said Wemby was going to be a bust. You're very
He is a
sensitive.
bust.
You're very sensitive about
He
the
is a
subject.
bust.
How's he a bust?
Well, you get.
Who cares if he
Good,
scores
it's
40
really-
points a game? His team is making
Dude,
the
it's
playoffs. You're not
10:30
seeing
in the
him in the
morning,
last 3 months of the
Dahnfather.
season.
A little early to be drinking.
You know,
Never too early for
Bobby
that,
Mack,
by the way.
Bobby Mack. You know who is also a bust?
Oh,
Jordan Hawkins. He only had 34 points last night.
Did he?
He only
Wait,
had 34.
You guys watch him guard?
I don't care. He had 34 points. Does anybody guard? Come on, what's this guard?
Yeah,
stuff?
Jalen Brown guards.
God.
Hawkins for what team is he on?
Pelicans.
How are they doing this year? They're doing great. Hawkins is awesome.
no,
He's having a
those-
better rookie year
He's
than Wemby.
he's going to get rookie of the year
Jesus.
because his team is
He
because his
should.
team is better.
No, Chet Holmgren's gonna get it,
Actually, Chet Holmgren is playing. I was off on him.
yeah. You also said he was going to be a
I
bust.
admit, I was off on Chet. He's playing great
Stay
defense, both sides of the ball. Team's winning.
But you're spot
he's
on
a,
Wemby.
He's a big reason. Wembyana, 7-8. Nobody's going to see him play after
I will
this
say
year.
this: Hawkins is playing better than I thought. Jackson's actually he started a few games. If you guys noticed recently,
big game
he's
last
not
night.
really
Did he?
scoring much,
Scary.
but
Did you know that?
he started a few. I don't. Is Sanogo playing at all or no?
Yeah. No. He had a
Sonogo?
good night a couple weeks ago.
A little bit. Yeah, not like these other two guys.
Jackson he plays like
It
his
all
hair's
depends on
fire,
the
man.
fit.
Yeah.
It all depends on the fit, the organization.
Speaking of funny video, did you guys? There's one going out with Giannis's brother. I could actually.
Oh,
send
it's
it.
hilarious.
Oh my! You saw it? Holy cow!
Like
the
all
shots,
the plays,
yeah,
the
oh
terrible
my God.
plays he makes. Yeah.
I didn't
Oh
see
my!
it.
He looks like a YMCA player. Like if you see the video, you're gonna be like, it's cool.
You wouldn't mess with him knowing.
Oh no, he's put together. But
Yeah, you wouldn't want him any
I'm
part
su-
of him in a squared
I'm
circle.
sure
I mean,
he's on the team because of his
Yeah.
skill set.
Might be like Bronny in a few years.
enough NBA.
Yes.
Yes. I mean,
it's playoff time.
Yes, please.
Let's stick with basketball for just a moment, though. A couple big games going on in an hour from this recording. Huskies should probably take care of business against Georgetown.
And take over the number 1 spot in the country maybe on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, with a dub.
Yeah.
Hoping that the Oak comes back soon. I saw the Oak last weekend. The Oak said maybe one more game, and the most popular tree in Connecticut might be back.
Just make sure you're 100% healthy. Don't rush back for anything.
Yeah, not worth it.
Nope. Not for this
anyway,
year
Huskies-
or his future.
Huskies got things intact at the moment. Hopefully, it stays like that.
Was Butler and Creighton this week? They won.
Butler's Wednesday. No, I thought Xavier was Wednesday.
They got Creighton.
Yeah.
Creighton Wednesday again.
Okay,
Creighton
cool.
Wednesday again.
Ooh, that sounds like
How
a
about
good
the
one.
R? The R has been playing pretty well for
Yeah.
a while. I'm
So
Yeah.
those
surprised with
wins,
that.
the wins last this past week those are tough wins on the road.
Yeah, those are
Conference.
Big East wins, like
Yeah.
rock fights.
He's only 8-man rotation
I love it.
without Clinton. Yep.
I love it.
Just narrowed it down.
I know those freshmen.
Spencer's been
Yes,
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal. Spencer's been
They
phenomenal.
run great stuff for
I'm
him.
not supposed to
Castle's
talk about him on
playing.
this.
I know.
Castle's starting to live up to the
corner a
bill.
little
Yeah.
bit.
They're fun to watch. Their offensive stuff is phenomenal.
He had Hurley had a phenomenal quote about Caravan in there too.
Oh, when he got stitched, when he got the
Nah,
elbow
he's
to
just
the
talking
head.
about like a zero maintenance guy, like just a winner. Like every day, he's like the first guy in the gym, the last guy to leave. Doesn't do any of the, gang signs after he makes a 3-pointer and all that stuff. It's all business. Guards.
No,
Like
you're right.
he's already said like he's a sophomore. Obviously, when he leaves, I'm gonna miss him. Like Danny Hurley doesn't throw compliments like that very often.
Calhoun has talked about Caravan too. How much
Yeah.
he likes him too. You can tell.
Really?
Yeah.
The Hooner?
Yep.
The nerve.
You see how much Hurley loves playing the villain and taunting like the visiting crowds
Oh,
and
I know.
everything.
He's
He
a
is so
knucklehead.
into it now.
He's a
Man,
knucklehead.
How about the St. John's thing too?
Got a nice little
I've had some of
rivalry.
the best times of my life in the Garden with UConn, but
Nice little budding rivalry there.
Yeah.
It's coming, yeah. Because St. John's could have beat him the first time around.
Did they
They're
hang
gonna
in there
play
last
them-
night and win that game?
St. John's lost by 1 at
yeah.
Creighton.
Well, I saw them earlier in the year in an exhibition, and the guy Soriano is not small, and he's psycho.
Yeah.
Like he wants to fight you on every possession. So like that's good for basketball.
Their best player is the kid Jenkins, the one from Iona that came with Patino. He's a very good guard.
Well, Aline's there.
Aline played a lot yesterday because I was watching a game.
He
Yep.
hit a 3 in overtime to send it to double overtime. The game I was at, they got this Midwest looking like white kid coming off the bench that could just stroke it.
Chitwood, I think.
No, it's like a Chitwood.
James Chitwood?
No, you know who I'm talking about? He's like number 44. He's like
No, he didn't play yesterday. The game I was
he
watching.
didn't.
No.
He didn't get in there.
No.
He's a freshman. He's tough, dude. They got guys. They got a lot of
I love
guys.
it. They
They got plowing.
And they're like thick. They're like
Yeah.
muscular.
They pick up man-to-man full court for 40 minutes. They just grind you.
Yeah.
Speaking
they're
of-
gonna-
talking about guys, we know a team that's got some guys coming in next year. That's
Oh yeah, let's pivot. Let's pivot to the rut. Okay. One more thing about Caravan. Executive producer extraordinaire Kevin Ross has said because they're like sweet mates or whatever. The kid.
Kevin and Caravan.
No. The Oak. And according to him, the kid either is at the gym or studying in his room, and he does nothing else. I mean, he's at college for the right reasons. I mean, I'm not sure I would follow that
How about Ted's?
that schedule, but he's there for the education
He's
and to
trying
be
to
as good
get
as he can
paid.
be at basketball.
Going to try to get paid professionally, yeah.
Yeah. The rut. Now, Skygazer Brewing has been a large backer of the podcast. Not so much as Capital Securities. But I mentioned that this Rutgers segment is brought to you by Joe Moriello and Capital Securities. The life. Well planned. So Coach Peichel's plans are working out for next year because he's got the Fab Five coming in for real. Like this year, if some of these guys hit that portal up, see ya. Good luck to you because you might not be playing anyway. I mean, I'm hoping guys like Simpson stick around because I'm a big fan. But that ball is going to be given to Dylan Harper, and they say Ace is the real deal. They got a center coming in who's got guns. He's a Big Ten looking guy already, and then the other two wings, Dortch and the other guy, right? So Skygazer and John Tice, that contingent is out there today.
They are.
At Sparty, looking for a huge win against a struggling Sparty, and a struggling Rutgers got to win a game against a struggling Sparty, right?
He's done. He's shortened his rotation too. If
I
you've
know.
noticed, because Gav is pretty much
He's-
token minutes. Fernandez is it's been your guy Davis, who you were on right from the beginning. Williams, right, and then Mag's reemergence from injury has really helped them. Like he's scoring a lot more than I think even Steve would thought he could.
Did you see
Right.
the ejection by the Indiana player, number 0? What's
Oh,
his
that
name?
was Xavier Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson.
Yeah.
He got in a dust up with them 2 years ago.
Yes, he did.
And
Yeah.
I can remember thinking he was a punk then, and now he's still playing like that. What's the matter with Woodson out there? Come on, man.
You're not getting the job done.
Is that IU to you?
No.
Is that the IU you grew up loving?
IU hasn't been IU in 30 years. They haven't figured it out.
What's his face? I thought had a shot. Crean.
He walked too fast up and down the sideline. He had like 75 plays. It's like
Getting his steps
keep
in.
it simple, man. And he was loaded too. He had one of the best recruiting classes in the country with Zeller and Yogi Ferrell and all those guys. And they lost in the Sweet 16 to Syracuse. They couldn't handle the zone.
What do you think about that, Don Father?
How's Red Autry
Cuse
doing?
is in
I
the
don't, I
house.
don't remember
Did you
anything
see
about
the score
Keith
last
Smart.
night?
I don't know who Keith Smart is. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was 87, but I'm talking about 10 years ago.
I don't remember that
Is
either.
Cuse
I don't
back?
remember that. Cuse
They
is not
weren't
back.
yesterday.
They
They
are,
lost
they
by
are not
30 in
back.
North Carolina yesterday.
That was a close one. I think it was 40, actually.
Can they get
They were
Hopkins back?
covering the spread.
Can they lure Hopkins back?
Everybody's leaving Washington now, right? I mean, the
Why
Boys
has he still
leaving,
got a
and
job
Hopkins
up there?
leaving. Who?
Hopkins.
Because he started off like gangbusters, right? And he's gone down ever
Been
since.
Are they doing terrible?
irrelevant. They've been irrelevant for years. I mean, not that there's anything left in the Pac-10, but
I mean, Autry's first year at the Q's. I mean, he's fine for his first year. He's got to get his own
you
class.
got to give him a
into
couple
it.
years.
They played 2-3.
No.
They move it around a lot. And
Yeah.
they're switching pressure a lot of man now, too.
Hey, speaking
bless
of
him.
what's left in the Pac-12, do you think that there's any possibility that football will end up having different conferences than all the other sports?
Yeah, what's his name? The UCLA coach and Rick Pitino
Chip
actually
Kelly.
came out. Chip Kelly and Rick Pitino came out with that football should have their own schedule and own conferences, and then everybody else can be their more regional conferences.
It makes sense.
Because
Does.
we know guys that know the ins and outs of the college game. And our buddy said probably 10 years ago that it's going to be 5 big conferences, and that's it for football. It's going to be 60 teams. And he's been prophetic, right?
Yeah, it's the only ones that are relevant anyway are just those teams.
And Mac and I were at Chip Kelly's house talking about that, and he kind of agreed with it a long time ago. It was,
Yeah. Yeah, we were there at Chip's house.
Portsmouth, yeah.
He was a coach at New Hampshire for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was. He got to play.
I
He
think-
has a place in Portsmouth. He
Yeah.
has nice lawn ornaments.
We went to I believe a UConn
Were
football
you allowed
game.
to be on his property? I don't know the
Like,
backstory.
we went
there.
back to a UConn football
We
game
were
back
there.
in the day when the
Was he? Was
the
he
commissioner ran out with
he was the coach then?
I don't think he was the coach, but it was New Hampshire that we were at.
Makes the story
I
better
think he
for
was
the
gone. Yeah, I don't think Chip was the head coach at the time.
Chip was the coach.
Yeah,
Wait,
definitely
makes
was.
story
Would've
better.
been
when
better,
the commission ran out with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
at halftime.
Wait a minute. Could you make it a 30-second story?
Yeah, they were coming. We didn't have tickets. We were watching outside at the old field at UConn, and they were running in from halftime, and I had the same matching sweatpants on, so I just jogged in with them.
They had to come from around the back of the stadium from the press conference.
The old Memorial Stadium?
It was. I turned around.
Did
I'm
you
like,
guys went in with me too, right?
Yeah,
All
well,
three of us.
we and I looked at each other. We're like, "What the hell?" We started running too.
we looked at him like, where's Johnny? And he turned around. He's got no slight jog running.
Blue
in
wind
with the
pants
defensive
on. That's all you need, a
coordinator.
pair of blue wind pants. Run right on there. I don't know if they had the UConn sweatshirt on, but
We got it for free.
we got it for free. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we set it to 50 after that.
We did. Yeah.
Calling signals.
Beats paying that $7 it costs to get in.
All right, this is fun. So let's get into the NFL. Dahnfather, you're on.
What are we talking about? We're not doing fantasy. Fantasy's done besides Champ Tereso.
Yeah.
Only thing I'll say is
Oh,
Champ, just champ.
anybody win the league?
You won one.
1 out of 2.
Higgy won 2.
Nice.
Excuse me, I mean El Principal.
I lost three semifinals because of Amari Cooper scoring 50-something points, including me and Mac in
I
one,
had,
Yep.
one league.
I made I had Kyron Williams in a final against the Giants, I believe, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, let's move. Let's
Giants?
not talk about that. We're
No,
not gonna-
just like
Was it the Giants or the Commanders?
He saved me, and no, it was the Giants. And
Who was
then-
the MVP of the fantasy season? Was it? It's easy, right? Give me. It's McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, probably.
He was 120 points over the next running back for fantasy football.
But
120 points over the next
the
running
Rams guy,
back.
the guy I was just saying, Kyron Williams was phenomenal too. He missed 5 games though. That was
Who was the biggest sleeper this year? Who was someone that
was
slept
probably
on?
him or I don't know.
Him or
Laporte.
Puka.
Yeah, Puka too.
Stroud?
Laporta was had more points than Kelsey this year,
about
so he ended up with
Stroud?
more fantasy points.
Stroud was phenomenal too. Yeah.
Is that close for offensive rookie of the year? Is it a gimme for Stroud,
Yeah.
or does Laporta make a move?
Yeah,
I don't
they
know.
get-
So
they
who's
get-
going to be better, Stroud or Bryce Young?
TBD.
I don't.
That's so interesting, though, because these quarterbacks that are now available and the teams that need them, which one's going to be a bust, which one's going to be better than you thought, who's
Can't
going to be the
project
best?
it.
Let me throw this out there. I don't want to. Did you guys see Caleb Williams, Dahnfather?
Yeah, seen
He's
him play
already
a bunch.
complaining. He's already complaining
Doesn't
that
wanna
he
go
doesn't
to
want
the
to play for the
Bears.
Bears. Like,
Go to
come on,
CFL
dude.
then. Play for
Yeah.
the Argonauts.
Come on, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, the end zone's huge. Go for it.
Maybe he'll stay, right? I mean,
Good. Stay
What is
there.
that,
can
man?
make
You're in
20
college.
million.
Shut up.
That's my
You want to be a
point.
pro or not?
That's my point.
Exactly.
Now you got to pick the team you play for in the pros? Shut up.
Everybody-
Cowboys wouldn't take him.
Everybody thought Harrison was going to stay too because Ohio State was offering $15 to $20 million to stay for his senior year.
so what's the best job opening, Lottie, right now? The best NFL. We're not going to go over all the vacancies.
I mean,
what's
you got
the best
you got the
vacancy?
Chargers because they have their so-called franchise quarterback.
They're a disaster all around now.
They are. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and this is going to be probably not what anybody else is thinking. Washington.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody was thinking that.
Washington. Washington, because that fan base is dying for something good to happen. They got the number 2 pick, right?
The limb just
they're going to
broke.
overhaul their whole organization. The Magic Man is involved, right?
But do you want to be involved in a complete overhaul, or because there's no expectations, or
Yep, built from the ground up the way you want to build
You
it.
think it needs to be built from the ground up? I mean, they got talented players.
They got
they traded their
got
two
rid
best
of their
defensive
defensive players.
They've
though,
been
man.
done, they've been bad for 20 years. How about I got one for you that's not open yet that might be
Dallas.
Cowboys?
no. Well, it could be if they get beat
Depends
tonight.
on what
But
happens to them.
Eagles?
yeah, they lose tomorrow night, man.
He's out.
I don't know if he's out, but it went from 6 weeks ago like no chance in hell to
Yep.
like because they're in a win now mode and they have talented guys and their defense.
them
is-
them
The
and
Boo Birds are out.
them
Oh,
and-
their
yeah.
defense is horrific, and AJ Brown's not playing
What,
on Monday
play
night.
calling.
It's
The
not
Boo
good.
Birds are out.
But
Dude.
their offense.
Him or Peterson? Gun to your head right now.
Well, Peterson won a Super Bowl, so I got to lean towards him.
Okay.
But
Would you take Belichick if you wanted the job?
Yeah,
Oh, him. Maybe we would take him.
him or
Jesus.
Hardball. Are you kidding me? If I was one of these
Harbaugh's
teams,
meeting with San Diego.
Yeah, he's going to the Chargers, right? I mean, what about the Falcons?
and I actually just read this morning that Belichick is
Falcons,
interested.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, but the Chargers problem, they're in salary cap nightmare right now. They have no room. They're like 30. They're the highest over salary cap projection for next year out of any team in the NFL. Keenan Allen's going to be a free agent. Austin Eckler's going to be a free agent. He's definitely gone. Eckler's definitely gone. Yeah, you want the
Dallas.
franchise quarterback, but you have no money. Atlanta's way under salary cap.
Seattle looked at it as a good job.
I think so. They have great offensive talent. I mean, their salary cap position is pretty good because Geno took a pretty
quarterback.
team-friendly deal.
Doesn't
They
take
need
much
a
to turn
quarterback. I agree.
Doesn't take much to turn a.
But I mean,
NFL
what's
team
better
around.
than Atlanta? A, you're in a garbage division. You have a franchise running back, franchise tight
play
end,
inside.
good receivers. You control the climate. You got a pretty decent defense. You need one position, and you have a lot of money. If
Just
you need
like
to do
It
it.
everybody
just
else.
happens to be the most important.
Just like
position.
everybody else, yeah.
Come on, Belichick will go there and bring Garoppolo over. You know,
He might. He might.
why not? All right, that's where I would go.
Atlanta?
Jalen Hurts, stock slightly down.
I don't know.
It couldn't
You-
get higher
ask
than
you
it
guys.
was. I mean, it
He
looked pretty
needs an
good.
off season to get his knee better, and I
mean,
think.
He hasn't been as good as last year, but schedule's been tougher.
Lost some weapons,
No
as you
Brown.
said. Yeah.
Surprised me too. He's got to be really banged up. Who's going to win this thing? Chiefs?
San Fran, I think.
San Fran Chiefs?
Ravens.
I'll agree. I had to agree with Lottie because I hate San Fran, but I would say them.
Just not the Chiefs. Ugh.
Commish. What do you like?
Ravens.
You don't want to see Taylor Swift all Sunday long?
So she was dancing in the suite last night. I mean, we all texted in the podcast. I think Mac and I both said Chiefs. Like it was last night was easy, right? There's no
Especially
chance
once the
Dolphins
weather,
were going to win.
especially once the weather was
By the
going to be
way-
like that. Yeah.
Remember the boy wonder coach for the Dolphins? What happened to him?
Yeah.
Everything Joey, nice guy, hug everybody when
Did
they
you
come
guys
out.
watch that game?
Oh yeah, I watched it. Yeah, he's got a quarterback that can't throw the ball more than 30 yards in the air. With the two fastest receivers in the NFL.
That
Can he throw the ball to Waddle? By the way,
no,
there's a
so-
freaking Tyreek Hill every single
So-
play.
Here's
Waddle, baby.
This is why you kind of need an arm. Like last night, like he couldn't throw a pass more
Right.
than 10 yards.
And he is
Mahomes
accurate.
was
but-
throwing. Yeah,
went
Mahomes
forward.
was throwing it, but like with the weather, like that was Tebow-esque. You know, some of the throws.
Tomlin going to get fired?
No,
No, I'm serious, man.
no,
the
I know there's talk
former
about it.
players turned on him, which pissed me off. You know,
They did they?
Roethlisberger and Clark are on the air and on podcasts and stuff
I'd
saying
take
he got to
that guy
go.
in a second. I'd take him.
Ryan Clark's a buffoon.
What about
I'm
that
saying
conference,
that's a
though?
heck of a job, though.
What about that conference, Lottie? All four teams with a winning
Of
record.
course. I mean, it's the AFC North. I mean,
A lot of these
what
guys
happens.
are going to win the Coach of the Year. That guy's the guy I would pick, Stefanski.
Yeah, you have 5 starting quarterbacks.
D'Amico Ryan.
D'Amico's going to win it, right? I mean,
Commish.
One
You
guy-
had 5 starting quarterbacks,
Yeah.
4 of which won a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they won 11 games.
They lost the best player on their team the second week of the season.
although why didn't I did talk about it? 27% of their salary cap is on IR. Cleveland.
Yeah,
27%.
no excuse
on
for
IR.
yesterday what happened, but yeah,
Chubb
I
up.
mean, he did a great
Chubb
job.
and
He did a
Watson?
great job to win 11 games.
Oh, unbelievable.
Hey,
Lottie, where'd you watch that yesterday? Here?
Right here, by
yourself?
myself.
Yeah.
I was watching a movie by the third quarter.
What movie?
Society of the Snow.
Oh yeah. Never haven't seen that one yet.
True story.
Yeah.
Don't watch it with 8 guys in a basement. You don't want to watch
Yeah,
that.
it's,
Remember when Mad Dog said "True Story" on there? Mike was talking about
Did Derek
Captain America?
Captain America. True story, Mikey.
True story?
No, Captain
No, it's-
America dog.
No, it's fictional. It's a cartoon. The Brownies. Mm-hmm. Did they beat the Ravens and the Niners?
They beat the Ravens at Baltimore, and they beat the Niners at home. Yep.
Jeez, they're going to beat the 2 teams in the Super Bowl.
Possibly.
Did they play the Chiefs?
No, next year, though.
Remember Bake had the Chiefs on a rope?
They had him, and the guy's neck snapped in half at the goal line, and KC didn't get called for the
That's right.
spear,
That's right.
and he
How
fumbled.
you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's been a couple,
Lottie, you had to
couple
be
tough
happy
years.
overall with the year, though, right?
I was thrilled with the
Very
year.
good, yeah.
Thrilled. I still think they need a quarterback.
Any
Who was
wild,
the running back before Chubb? Or with Chubb, maybe?
Kareem, huh?
Kareem Hunt?
Big game yesterday.
They had their only 2 touchdowns.
Any wild card teams going to win this weekend?
Yeah, Philly.
God.
Rams?
I got it. That was who I was going to pick. I think the Rams are going to beat the Lions.
Oh, I mean, it's very even line right
Yeah.
now. I mean, that's... What was the last
But
wild
Laporta's playing, though.
Is he?
Yeah, he's playing.
They said he was leaning, which means
He's
he's,
playing-
going to
he's playing.
play. Who's the last wild card team? I got a trivia, so I'll roll. Last wild card team to lose in a Super Bowl.
Last wild card team to lose a Super Bowl.
Eagles?
You're just guessing because Angry's here?
Yeah.
Well, he threw his pen down when you gave the answer, so that was pretty much.
No, it's not.
Philly.
Not the Eagles.
Do you know it, Angry?
No.
We can't
I
waste
can
time.
tell you what year. 99.
They lost in the Super Bowl,
Oh,
99.
99. No, I remember.
Oh.
That's when you were running onto the field with Chip Kelly.
Yeah. 1999. UConn won. I think the Yankees didn't.
They lost to the Titans.
The Yankees won the World
Yeah,
Series in 99. Yeah,
UConn.
Rams,
yeah,
Titans?
UConn won.
Yeah.
Rams,
I mean,
Titans?
the Titans lost to the Rams. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Steve
so it's
McNair.
Dyson. Dyson was out.
Dyson at the goal line.
Yeah.
Steve McNair.
Aaron McNair.
Rest in peace.
Number?
9.
9.
9.
All right, who cares about the NFL? It's just...
Yeah, nobody cares now.
We got to get to next fantasy season, right? That's what we got to get to, next fantasy season. All right. It's time for Who'd You Rather. And this segment is brought to you by Capital Securities and Joe Moriello, a life.
Is every segment, bro?
Well planned. At this moment, yeah.
Fine. Yeah.
You see the stack of bills on the desk right now, and that's why they're
Dollar bill.
Oh, why do they all? They're all marked unpaid too.
We're shifting gears here today. Jay's
the
going to make his
holidays.
debut hosting Who'd You Rather. So, Angry,
Take it away.
we defer to you.
It's not my debut. I'm a sophomore now.
Your debut.
Yeah, here we go.
I tell you
Allen
when you go.
Iverson and Dwayne Wade. We're going right to it.
Iverson.
Iverson.
Wade.
Iverson.
Angry?
I'll go AI.
Guys, jump right in if you want.
Giannis or Joel Embiid? Dahnfather, we're going to you.
Giannis.
Giannis.
Freak.
Yep.
All right.
No dissenters here? No dissenters?
I'll go Giannis too.
We hate consensus.
All right. Paul Gasol or Chris Bosh?
That's a good,
Good one.
Lottie.
That's a good one.
Going Lottie's way.
I'm going to go Gasol.
I'm going to go Pau just because he's healthier, it seems.
That's all.
I'll go Bosch. He was way more skilled.
Me too. I'll go
The
Bosh.
Toronto Bosch was sick.
He was.
He was very good until he got with LeBum.
Yeah.
He was a
Did
third
he
wheel.
say Miami Bosch? Did he say Miami Bosch or just Bosch?
Bosh.
You just said
You
Bosch,
said Bosch,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Looking
Dahnfather.
careers. Okay.
Come on.
Put some pomade in your hair. Jeez.
It's too early for that.
Dahnfather, you're leading us off here. Ray Allen, Klay Thompson.
Anybody but Ray Allen. Klay Thompson.
Ray, all day.
All day, Ray. Not close.
I would. I think it's close, but I'll go Ray Ray.
Thank you. I'll go Ray too, but it's much closer
Yeah.
than you think if you look at the stats and
The,
stuff.
the studio audience all said Clay Thompson, just so the listeners know.
No, not Capital Securities.
Next question.
Not
Next
Cap-
question.
No, the guy.
Bills, no way.
Lottie's leading us off here. Antonio Brown or Larry Fitzgerald?
Fitzy.
I don't think it's close, Fitzy.
That's.
I'll take Fitzgerald.
Antonio Brown.
I'll take Fitzgerald just because of the baggage. I don't want the baggage. But Antonio Brown, if Antonio Brown is as good as.
Yeah, the longevity for
Baggage?
Fitzy
We're talking
was-
about
was
on the
pretty
field,
good.
right? We're talking about on the field.
There's baggage with it though, because he leaves the field with no shirt on too.
I agree. Before you give the next one, veteran receiver Hines Ward at one point for the curtain. They had 3 young receivers. They were dubbed themselves Young Money. Brown was one of them. Do you guys know the other 2?
Plaques.
No. Good call. No. The 3 were all the similar
Santonio. Holmes.
Did you ask
Do
a
you-
question?
do you
I know
know
the
the
answer.
No.
Well, when you get the answers, let us know.
Emmanuel
Young Money, this
Sanders.
segment's brought to you
Emmanuel
by
Sanders,
Capital.
remember?
Sanders.
Remember Emmanuel
Yeah.
Sanders,
89.
17? And then you threw me off when you said whoever you said. Who's the one, number 10, that ended up with the
Santonio
Broncos?
Holmes.
No,
Oh, with the Broncos was
He was a little touchdown machine there. He ended up with the Broncos. Come on, man. It's Sanders?
Santonio
No,
Holmes was number 10. That's why I'm thrown off.
Emmanuel Sanders wasn't he with
He
the
went
Broncos?
with Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then him.
Yeah.
Sanders. Oh, Mike Wallace was the other one. That's what Mike
From
Wallace.
60 Minutes?
He's pretty old.
You guys killed me on that.
Ah,
Lottie, here we go. Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino.
Dan, right? Dan the man. Prolific. Changed the game.
No Super Bowls, but I got to go Dan the Man. Shook his hand one time. His hands
Did he
like
have the
huge.
gloves on?
Ice and
Ice and
toners?
toners, yeah.
No.
Ball game.
Marino.
Not even close. Aaron Rodgers.
I'll go Aaron Rodgers.
Because of
too.
the one Super Bowl?
How
or
come I never get to go
Because
first?
more,
Ingrid? I don't
more
like the way you're
MVPs,
hosting.
Super
I was just
Bowl.
going that way. You want to go first on this
No,
one?
apparently I don't
All
get to
right.
go first. You're
All
like a sophomore, you said. You made your debut before.
We thought when you said the
Jesus.
trivia question, that was your turn.
You've been going first for
the year.
a year and a half. I
I'm
mean,
the
Jesus
host.
Christ.
I got Capital
You're
Security.
not, you're not hosting this segment.
I got
so
Capital
Take your
Security.
second place
involved in
finish
it.
and go back.
I got
to,
an administrator here.
all right, here we go. I'm going back to Dahnfather. Julius Peppers, J.J. Watt.
J.J. Watt.
Thought I was going to go first.
Watt. J.J. Watt.
I thought Peppers was a heck of a player. I'm going to go with Julius.
I'll go Watt.
I'm going J.J. Peppers, too.
J.J. Peppers?
Or whatever his name was.
You can't
Julius
be wrong
Peppers.
if you're going to answer like that. I mean,
You don't know his middle name, so it was Julius James Peppers. He just went by.
Julius.
How about that? You got me to. You believed that for a second, too.
I did for a second.
JJ. JJ Fat.
Julian Jalapeno. Jalapenos is my
Here we go. The big ticket, Garnett or Charles Barkley? Lottie.
Garnett.
Tough.
Yeah.
I got to say the
Both
round
sides of the
mound.
court.
Round mound was he just he was an overachiever. Period.
Barkley too.
I'm going to go Garnett.
I'm going KG.
Close. That was a
too.
great one, though.
I'm going KG because, well, he won us.
Audience?
Sir Charles.
Just defensively. though.
Yeah.
Anything less would be uncivilized.
Who do you want to have a beer with? It's Barkley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
Airport layover question is Barkley every time. Yeah.
There was a phenomenal Charles Barkley story I just saw yesterday. Well, I guess we'll have to tell you off the air because it's absolutely hilarious. Steve Smith, Carolina Panthers. Andre Johnson, Houston Texans.
Steve Smith.
Smith for me.
Smith. Yep.
Closer than
Really?
you think, though.
Yeah. So I'll go Andre Johnson. 'cause-
Smitty all day.
All right. We'll go Lottie. We're going you. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook.
I love Westbrook, though. So I'm going Westbrook.
All right.
His numbers are off the chart, man, with OKC.
Well, both of them, this is a great one, Jay, because the beginning of their careers is just so different than where they're both at now. But that downhill play of Westbrook early in his career,
So physical.
trying to kill you on every play, him and the Pat Bev stuff early, I got to go Westbrook.
I like your answer. That's how I answer it, and you yell at me all the time because you didn't give me a one word. Go ahead.
Westbrook.
I'm going to yell at you now.
I'm going to say Chris Paul because both sides of the court, he was way better on defense.
I will take Chris Paul also, but it's very close. Yep. Chris Webber or Chris Bosh? You're going first, Dahnfather.
Jesus, I never go first.
You're not going first ever. Today.
Weber.
I'm going to go Chris Bosh.
Bosh.
I'm going Bosch as well.
Weber.
I'm going Webber also. Jesus. All right. We got a few more on us?
Yeah.
All right. Magic Johnson, LeBron James. Lottie.
It's easy for I'm going Magic, man. Because that was my guy.
It is tough when you think about it, though.
We'll
like,
skip Mac. We'll give it a
It's personal
It's
for me.
personal, yeah. I say
it's
Magic.
personal.
So we're all going Magic because we.
It's the easiest question I've ever answered. It's the GOAT, of course. I mean, come on.
Jordan's not in this conversation.
I
said
know,
Magic or
exactly.
LeBron.
It's easy. LeBron, come on.
it's Magic, man.
Not even close.
He beat AIDS.
Is he contradicting his earlier statement?
I don't know.
Rewind the tape, Angry.
He's 1-0 versus 8.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
LeBron takes days off. He's got a runny nose. This guy beat AIDS.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Magic, man.
The Magic, man.
I'll go Magic just because
Take Don Mikowski.
I don't know if it's
The
the right
Black
answer.
Sports Illustrated cover? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Lottie,
kidding me?
Lottie, this was a tough one for me. Shaq or Hakeem Olajuwon?
Elijah.
Ooh, we got it. That's
Very quick for me.
oh, okay.
I can't say anything, but one more.
No, go ahead. That's how I answer them. I don't
mean-
yell at my guests.
I mean, the footwork of Olajuwon is second to none, if you ask me, in the post. Very fun to watch, even his highlights today. But Shaq was the most dominant center, like physically, so I got to go Shaq.
I go Shaq.
I go Hakeem.
What do
My-
you say?
My answer is the same as you. I'd rather watch Hakeem, but Shaq was a little more dominant in his.
Who would Chris Dudley take?
He would take Olajuwon.
Chris Dudley got teabagged a couple times by Shaq, man.
Here we go. Here we go. Where'd he go to school?
Dudley? Yeah.
Yale.
Yep. All right.
Hardest fucking.
Couldn't make a free throw though, which is
No,
amazing.
he couldn't.
It's okay.
Steve Nash, Jason Kidd.
We've evolved.
Jason Kidd.
I'll take Nash.
Canadian zone.
I'm going Nash, too.
I'm going Kidd. Let's keep it a real.
I love Jay Kidd.
A real American.
In
Is he a multiple
college, I
MVP?
love Jay Kidd.
Is he a multiple MVP? Nash?
Steve Nash won
Yeah,
2
2 in a row, I think, yeah.
which is
And
amazing.
Shaq is
'cause-
pissed about
Because
one
he
of them.
shouldn't have.
It should have been.
You guys feel like Angry Jay and the Dahnfather formed an alliance a little bit?
No,
I think
it's
they-
it's
seems
cute
like
how the relationship
Yeah,
has
it's grown over the year.
grown, yeah, progressed.
Those are
Years-
fighting words.
Jay, if you start putting pomade in,
I got to
Merry
start buying more
Christmas.
hair
Jay's gonna be
products.
going to Texas every other week.
You guys want more? I got plenty more.
I got one trivia question I got to do at the end, but he can do whatever you
no,
want him to do.
because we
Mac.
got one
You're
more
the
segment
host.
after this. But Jay,
I'll give you one more.
One more good one, Jay. Stub us.
We'll go on a coaching one. Popovich or Phil Jackson?
Pop.
Phil Jackson.
Well, you're going out of turn, dude.
I don't care. Popovich has 7 wins this year. Phil Jackson.
He's such a hater.
He's got
on
7
Vic.
wins with the best player in the history of the world and win by Jokic, whatever. It's ridiculous. Not even close.
I'll go Phil.
I'll go Phil.
I'm
Angry?
gonna take Pop. I mean, Phil had. It was given to Phil, man. Like
Careful though, Pop was loaded too.
You know, you're right, but underappreciated, loaded, weird. Were they considered West Coast? I mean, did they play late at night? Or are they?
Well, 8:30 tips, I think.
I mean, they weren't prime time on all the time. I mean,
No.
and you watch the playoffs, and what an appreciation for the
Yeah, you did.
the
You're right about
Parkers,
that.
the Ginobili's,
Kawhi.
Sean Elliott, right? And,
Yeah.
and then the big guys are just undisputable.
Phil had to manage a lot of.
So hold on. So who did you say?
I take Pop all day.
You just talked about all the great players you have, but then you're talking about.
The great players he had. Look at Phil.
I'm not saying he didn't, but you were saying, oh, he managed this guy,
Phil
and
made
this guy,
him
this
like-
guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. I mean,
Incense and I mean, come on, man. He had Kobe and the GOAT.
the GOAT is still playing.
He had
I don't know
Kobe
what
and
you're
Shaq
talking about.
together, dude. Come on. And Pippen ain't easy. He had Jordan and Pippen.
Pimpin' Annie's, yeah.
Jesus. He had Craig Hodges. No.
I'll go
Trent
Phil.
Tucker?
I'll go Phil too.
You're right again, Angry.
Jay, I'm surprised by that.
I hate the guy, but he won. I don't-
Krzyzewski or Dean Smith?
Krzyzewski.
Yep.
Mesh?
Krzyzewski.
Hooner or Dean Smith?
Who?
The Hooner. The Ner.
National championships.
Who are you taking?
Dean Smith.
What Calhoun did at UConn is one of the best jobs ever in college sports.
Ever.
In any sport.
Yeah,
Ever.
ever.
The Yankee Conference playing in that gym.
There was
They
4,000
are
people in
the
the old
pro-
field house.
The program now. Calhoun.
Yeah. He built it. And they came. This next segment brought Jay. Great job. I don't know about you.
Those are good ones. Yeah.
Angry. Well played.
Brought to you by Bristol.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to be so bristly with me, but like, you are a bristle boy. Boy, do you bristle. This next segment brought to you by Capital Securities. This is a new segment. We're debuting a word association segment called "What's the first thing you think of?" I'm going to say a name, and you're going to tell me the first thing you think of. Now, don't be influenced by what other people say. It could be anything. The thought that comes into your mind when you hear this player's name. It could be a certain play, a team, a moment, an opponent, whatever. The first thing that comes to mind when you hear this player's name, and the first one
We get it.
is Derek Jeter.
Champion.
Rings.
The flip.
Minka Kelly.
Capital Securities has the flip. El
Mine yesterday.
Principal.
Lady depth chart.
Huh?
You got a solid depth chart in terms of female companions.
Crocker.
Yes.
I do like the gift bag.
I bet you do. Fist pump. That's what I think of. Boy, do we need more of that. Speaking of goats, what do you think of when you hear Michael Jordan? First thing you think of?
Gambling.
Father. His father. I always think about his father.
I think of Craig Elo.
I think of him as a killer.
Winner.
Gatorade. I want to be like Mike.
Confident.
You remember that? The old Gatorade commercials? Remember they were in bottles, by the way?
Glass bottles.
No,
yeah.
nobody remembers that, like today's generation.
No
like
shot.
glass bottles.
Breaking on the playground.
Yeah.
The first thing I think of is that tongue wag he had, like all the old pictures before. Like,
I bet it is.
Be quiet. No, seriously, like
This guy's breaking out awful.
Jesus.
you, just used to
Family
be
show?
sporting-
Having a family
So
show,
that's what
man.
happens when you.
Having a family show.
Sports Illustrated on Thursdays, and the Sporting News was halfway decent when it was like a big, kind of a bigger
Oh,
magazine.
Sporting News was awesome.
It's huge.
Yeah, but all those old pictures, man, he always had his mouth open and the tongue out, making those crazy plays. What an acrobatic player! You mentioned this guy before, Dan Marino. First thing you think of?
Marx Brothers.
Isotoner.
I agree with Isotoner. That's the first thing.
I think it actually the Orange Bowl for just where they used to play.
Jerry Curl.
Laces out.
Huh?
Laces out.
The release.
The very first thing I think of is the fake spike and the
That's the
timeout.
Jets. Yeah.
All right, great.
Mike Trout. First thing.
Overrated.
I knew he hates him.
Yep. IL.
I said Greg Morehart.
There you
Who
go.
signed him from Connecticut.
Yep.
Eagle fan.
Anybody else?
Ball player.
I think of the Yankees. Honestly, I always envision him in the Bronx, and I can't believe we didn't get him.
Not over yet.
Larry Bird.
Magic Johnson.
The King.
Garbage man.
Greatest college player ever.
3-pointer, I think.
You already had your turn.
I don't give a shit.
You
I
already
changed
had
it.
your
I
turn.
changed it.
Trash
El
talk.
Principal, what'd you say?
Best trash talker of all time.
That's mine too.
The finger up after the 3-point contest.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The crooked finger. Right.
First thing I think of, he was so good that night. The Hawks were giving each other 5. Remember that? First thing you think of when I say Tom Brady.
He's the GOAT.
Rings.
Winner.
Rings.
Deflated football.
I think of Belichick because he made him.
Yep. Lombardi Trophy.
He made him. First thing you think of when I say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
The captain.
Skyhook.
Overrated.
Goggles.
Jesus, guy.
Overrated.
Oh my God,
Roger
that's
Bird.
funny. The hook. I mean, the hook against the Celtics. Come on, baby, let's go. When I say A-Rod, what are you thinking of immediately?
You don't want to know.
J-Lo.
Cheater.
Steroids.
Steroids.
Could have been the best.
Yep.
That's steroids
Could have
too.
been. Yep.
Underrated.
Could have been the best.
Underrated.
I think
What's going on here?
we're in a pool
When
hall.
you bring up A-Rod in this house.
We're in a pool hall.
See?
I think of Texas because he took the contract based on the income tax. That's kind of ridiculous, right?
They all do
Kind of
that.
smart.
Joe, underrated?
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. He could have been the greatest of all time.
Big news we didn't talk about this week. 3 iconic coaches stepping down or fired or whatever happened to them. What's the first thing you think of when you hear Bill Belichick?
Hoodie.
Loser.
The stoic press conferences.
Yeah, I was going to say press conference. I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
just
Anybody else?
no information.
Thorough, very thorough coach. That's what I think of. Covers everything.
System.
Had a
Yeah.
system. Work the system.
What's the first thing you think of when I say Nick Saban?
Go.
Winner.
Affleck.
Leader of men.
Yeah, I would say greatest of all time. College football.
I think of the Dolphins.
1 year there, right? Was it 1 year?
Not even.
Not even.
Like the
What's the first thing you think of when I say Pete Carroll?
Whiner.
Run the ball.
Oh, this is easy.
Run the ball.
Gum. Gum. He just chews gum like it gives it a workout on the sideline.
Nike Monarchs.
I think legend because I mean this is a champion at the collegiate level. This is a champion at the professional level.
Belichick's a loser, but he's going to.
Yeah. You're going to argue with Pete Carroll?
Yeah. Yeah.
Reggie Bush took a
USC?
Reggie Bush took a pay cut to go to the NFL.
Didn't that championship get
Is
Pete
Jerry
Carroll was
Marshall one
Pete Carroll was ahead of his time.
Huh?
Is
Ahead
Gary
of, he was
Marshall
ahead of the
He was-
NIL.
he was- yeah.
Did he actually get an NCAA championship? Wasn't that
He didn't
stripped?
call it.
I think they
And you got to
reinstated
execute
it.
that play. You got to get inside the
Yeah.
got executed?
It was vacated for a long time. Yes.
I think we covered it all, guys. Rutgers and UConn, good luck to both today. Our contingent out there at Sparty, be safe, get a win.
How many guys are out there?
I don't know.
There's 6 or 8.
Six.
Joey Peikel's in charge. I know that.
Brought an 8-pack with him. Yeah.
Joey Peikel's in charge. We know that. Great job, guys. Angry Jay stepping up there. We got to get back here before a month like the last one. Dahnfather's busy. This high school basketball season was crazy. Then is midway already. Angry Jay, real quick. Connecticut hoops. Who have you gone out and seen that you're like impressed with that the normal person wouldn't know?
The normal person,
Like what players are out there that you've seen that you're like pretty impressed with to go to your level or higher?
there's a kid from Berlin I actually like, River Eberhardt. Nice player. The kid right around here, Southington High School's Ryan Hammerlin.
Nice player. Yep.
Terrific player. Northwest Catholic has a little kid.
You like him? Is that
I do.
Mirabello?
Yeah, Gianni Mirabello.
Is he? He's big now.
He's like 5'7", but they might have to drug test him. No, he's a great kid. There's a few. I mean, there's a
Is
couple.
Northwest Catholic good?
Yeah, they're not. It's not a great Northwest Catholic talent team.
Will they
but
be there at the end in
They
Division
will
One?
be. Yeah, they'll be in the final
Four?
eight.
They lost to Christ the
possible
King
4.
yesterday by 30, but that's pretty cool that they played him.
Jeez.
So,
That was
Yeah.
East.
That's neat.
No, that was.
Oh, it was East. I'm sorry.
East
I apologize.
Catholic.
That was
Will
East.
East be
Yep.
there?
East.
Oh God, yeah, yes.
They're
is it
tough.
Like, East had won like what 40 in a row or something.
Yeah, it's like 39 or 29 or something crazy.
They got it handed to them though by the Christ the King.
yeah. Different levels.
Did you go? Oh no, you
No,
had a game.
we had a game.
How's Crosby in the top 10? I mean, I saw Crosby.
You haven't seen them? They're
have
they're
seen 'em.
fast. Well, they press and trap.
You know what I said to Lottie? They
it's-
remind me of an old Harding team because I can't tell who their best player is, but there's 10 of them.
They're
Yeah,
not
a lot
over-
of kids moved
yeah.
in with uncles and stuff.
They're not overly skilled. Like I don't say, wow, they got unbelievable basketball players, but they just keep coming with
Yeah,
those double
they got
teams
waves of
everywhere.
guys,
yeah.
yeah.
Who's the coaches?
Still Nick.
Still there?
Martelli,
Dang.
Yeah, man,
Oh,
40
that's
years, right?
that's
40.
A long time.
You know who the AD is? The great Dave Ironimo.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know
Terry
that.
Vilzone. Brass City Brewery. Go check it out, guys.
No. It's not.
Oh yeah, nice.
Good stuff.
Anybody else, Jay? Angry?
There's like a bunch of like prep school kids in like Putnam.
Stick with CIC. I want to know about your buddy Ed Quick, and our dear friend Eric O'Toole, who's been on this podcast. He's excited for the Niners coming up here. But 16 teams are chosen to the Division One.
Yep.
I love that CIC has figured at least that part out. Okay, and any team can opt in. There are 17 teams because Southington opted into one.
How about that?
That's crazy,
That's what I was
man.
going to ask you. They're Division 2 this year, but they said right away we want to play with the big boys.
Ballsy. Is it ballsy or stupid? I mean, do you owe it to your school to have a chance to win your division, or do you have? And who makes the call? Just the coach? Does the AD have to sign off
Coach
on
and
that?
AD both have to sign off on it.
How about
And
the principal?
They talk about the players too. We
Principal,
bought it.
man.
Yeah.
You got a principal?
So
Does the principal weigh in on something like that?
Not typically, no.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So let me ask you guys that Coach Quick is a good friend of mine. What do you guys think about that? If you're a player, he's like convincing them, "Hey, we're playing. We want to play the big boys." He's actually turned the program around. They play a much different
Quick.
style.
Turn it around quickly.
No
yes.
pun intended.
I think it'd be harder to convince the parents. You know.
So I mean, if they're Division 2, they obviously have a better shot of
Right.
more success in the state tournament. But he wants to play the big boys. He schedules the big boys out of conference.
I'm sure.
You
he
guys
talked-
have a
Hats
favorite?
off.
I'm sure he
Hats
talked
off.
to his players, obviously, and I'm sure they were on board for the majority of them.
A tip of the hat, without a doubt.
I love it personally from a competitive standpoint. Why not? I mean, there's only 5 champions anyway, so let's try to
Yeah, but
figure
you
it out.
got a
and win.
better shot to be one of them. You
No.
got to look at both sides.
That's
of
why-
this.
that's why I'm
when you're
asking you
saying
guys.
a parent,
I am looking at.
would
both
you
sides.
do it, Lottie?
Probably not,
Okay. Why?
because I think Southington would have a chance to go real deep in D2, and they could be a first round ouster in D1. Even if they go like 16-4, look at the teams that are in there that they would have to compete against in the first round.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
WCA or something in the first round.
I think you got to know your team, your
Freaking track
players. And
meet.
again, I would assume he consulted with his kids, and maybe
Can they
maybe
hang
like
with
the
them?
idea.
Can they hang with them?
With
All
a
of
lot
those
of
teams.
teams. Yeah. They scrimmaged Notre Dame and West Haven and all that, and
Are they good?
they're very good.
Yeah, they're like one of
They're very
probably
good.
the best team. In
Yeah, they're
besides
right there.
East,
How
right?
about the other Notre Dame?
Notre Dame and Fairfield? They're good. They're good. They Southern can definitely hang with them. Yeah.
I like to see Southington play Waterbury Career. Waterbury Career is Division 1 too.
Yeah,
Have you
we're
seen
all-
Career?
Yeah, they're
They
good.
don't waste much time
No.
getting it up the court.
No.
They
Yeah,
got they
the old
got
shot clock's not a factor.
No,
Let's just throw that
that's-
out there.
Have you guys? A lot of
played
you
them.
talking about the talking about practice. The shot clock it hasn't been much of a factor at all. Really,
Not
has
once.
It?
I don't even find myself on the flow of the game looking at it. The only time I look at it is like a baseline out of bounds play to see how much time we have.
They don't. There's no it hasn't really gone off much. I've seen
I think we held
other than
maybe 3 violations this year.
I've seen 2 violations in boys' games and
Yeah.
about 4 in girls. Kids want to play. I think it's not a factor because it's maybe just encouraged coaches and players. Let's get going. Let's try to see if we can score. And thankfully, it's not an issue. But you know what is weird is like if a WCA or a Newington, who I saw when they only had 2 wins, and by the way, they're pretty good.
Of course. Yeah.
They'll pass the ball around. It'll go from one side of the court to another. They'll see 3 sides, and all of a sudden, and I'll be like, "Geez, it's got to be close." And you look up, and there's like 17 seconds, so that's only half of it.
yeah.
Because the ball's moving fast with these good teams, and like it's just a complete non-factor, and it's just embarrassing we didn't go to it earlier.
I mean, the
really.
bad teams too. They can't hang on to it for 35 seconds.
Oh, they'll turn it over before 35. Yeah.
So
That's why I always used to say, shoot it before we turn it over.
I do not. Let me ask you
I don't
this,
care where it's
Lottie,
from.
too. I
Throw
do
it up
not.
there.
After watching all the high school games now this year, I can't stand the new foul rule that they put in with the 5 fouls at end of each quarter. Like it bothers me for some reason. I don't.
Terrible.
I think it actually hurts.
Str-
It hurts the better team because, like, if you're getting a team in foul trouble early, it just goes back to 0 the next quarter. It's
That's been the biggest adjustment for me. Obviously, we're not as talented as all these other teams you're talking about. We used to use it strategically.
Yeah.
Like when we got to
Yes.
6 fouls, like be like, hey, we got 3 to give here
Yeah.
in a close game. Let's make them make free throws, and now that's completely wiped out. So I don't love that.
You know
at
what I
all.
wish they would wipe out is the pregame handshake when your name is announced. When you got to go out there and do
You
a
don't
fancy
I don't-
handshake.
To the refs
do,
and the
do you have
coaches.
to do it in high school?
You don't have.
I don't know if you
don't
have to, but
do that,
everybody's got like
everybody
a
does it.
3-minute handshake, and then
Oh, you're talking
and then they
about
put a crown on you. You scored 2
Oh,
points
you're
in the
talking
game.
about that
The
with your own,
kids.
with the own kids.
The kids, I mean, yeah. Like what? this is what a show that has become.
Yes.
And then they're giggling while they do it, and then you got to lace them up after that. They're gonna throw the ball up, and you're out there giggling, making like patty cakes with somebody, and then they put a crown on you, or they frisk you. They do like the fake frisk. Like
That's been going on for a long time.
yeah, that's nonsense, man.
It doesn't happen in all the places. Doesn't happen in Cromwell, I can tell you that.
Coach Penalda.
They
You
take a
first
charge.
Coach
They
Pernod.
take
You know
a
what I
charge
love
when they run out.
about, you know what I love about her, because we were talking, because we were scrimmaging them. They do varsity only practices.
Yeah.
How's that kid, Payne?
He's very good.
What level will he play at?
I don't want to discourage anybody. I'm not.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that's not yeah,
His
fair.
brother's
Yeah.
on the team too, right?
Yeah.
Will he play in school?
He's a college player, absolutely.
It is Zaire Lott a college player?
Yes.
How about the thick kid from WCA that had 37 at
He's so
Mohegan?
good. He's so good.
Dude.
He
Williams
looks
kid.
like he
Drew
sucks
Williams,
though,
yeah.
and he just scores all the time.
His spin dribble is legit.
Will
And
he play
he's-
in college with that body?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he wants to. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Huh.
I think
What-
I
what
think they
level?
got two of the best 4 or 5 players in the NBL just on one
Yeah.
team.
All right, guys. Congratulations to Thomaston's Nicole Decker with her 1,000th point.
All right, congrats! I didn't know that.
Coach Moslak is giving her the keys to drive the bus, and boy, she's pretty
How
good.
come the former coach didn't do that?
Because
She wasn't ready.
shut up. No, you know what though? That kid, willing
She's a
passer,
great kid.
willing passer.
Has she narrowed her choices?
Yeah,
She has a few offers, right?
yeah, she's definitely gonna play. And by the way, Ava Harkness is getting closer, so like it'd be neat if the two of them both got it. You know, I know they're individual things, but like that's kind of cool for
Yeah,
kids.
it's 1,000 points, 1,000 points.
Yeah, because they might not score
She's
1,000.
missed a lot of games just because of her injuries, right?
Yeah,
over the years.
she's awesome though.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
One of the nicest kids you ever want to meet. Both of them.
I wonder if Coach Moslak hangs it up after this year, after those two. I wonder if he walks away or if he's willing
Depends how the season
dig
ends,
in
you
for the
know?
rebuild.
I don't think he's rebuilding the yoke.
There's more
Stick
games
around,
to win.
Mosey. All right, keep bristling, boys.